All
Welcome
righty.
to Bright Horizons.
With Deb and Jim Chiaffi.
And Oralee.
Oralee is our special guest. Oralee, good to have you. And Oralee's with us on behalf of.
Great to be here.
Oh, we're so happy that you're with us, joining us, Oralee. My Uncle Trini Lopez, the man, the legend, and the woman who knew Trini Lopez very, very well. And again, it's an honor to have you, Oralee. And she will tell us about Trini. My name is Lopez, Trini Lopez. So with that being said, take it away, Jim. Take it away, Oralee, however you want to start the show.
Okay. I wanted to bring in Ann Anello, my fiance. Come on.
Yeah, all right.
Hello, everybody. So nice to meet you. Jim.
Hi. Oh my God, it's about time.
They don't have to get
Oh my
Deborah
God.
and Oralee. How are you?
I feel so bad. This is so scrunched in, but that's okay. We can see everybody,
That's
Jim.
okay. We can get Jim in if I just move a little. There
Yeah,
we
I'll
go.
move closer to her.
Wait.
Wait a second.
There we go.
Oh wow.
So nice to meet you, Oralee. Oralee, I had the honor, the gift to not only meet Trini and Deborah. I know you're his cousin, is that niece? Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
But I wrote a song for him, and I performed at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino when he received the Connie Francis Lifetime Achievement Award, as well as Entertainer of the Year Award. And I performed at that beautiful event at the Hard Rock. It was my honor. So go tell me really something.
Yeah, let's hear when you first met Trini.
Yes.
Oralee, how many years you were with him?
Let me see. It was 2004, I think. No, it was before that because I knew him 25 years by 20, so that would make it 2004 we met. Was it 2004 or 94? Must have been 2004. No, 94. 25 from 20 is
A long time. Yes.
Time goes marching on, does it ever? It doesn't stop for anybody, does it?
And then what was your position? What was your position with him?
Yes, it is finished. And in fact, we have a publisher that's going to be marketing it. It's the title is How Did I Get Here? And it's a memoir. He over the period of 25 years, he told me all kind of stories and asked me to write them down for him. And that's what the book is. The stories that I wrote down that he gave me. Sometimes I would write, because I took it on a tab. We might be driving in the car. We could be sitting at the table, could be outside, could be any place. And he'd just pop up with one of these stories. And so sometimes when I was home, I had a little recording machine. Back then, we didn't have the technology we have today. And I would play it on this little machine, and then I'd type from that machine, and then I'd read it to him the next day. He said, no, you're supposed to say is instead of every word he wanted to correct sometimes. But it was fantastic to write. I learned a lot of his life, a lot of his ups and downs by writing that.
He had a very interesting life. I mean, not only was he a singer, but he was an actor.
You know, I could talk.
And a great guitarist. Do you know I have his guitar? I mean, they gave me, when I performed, they gave me a guitar of his. I mean, it's hanging very prestigiously in
her
my
living room. Yes.
Yes.
You see, I didn't know that, Ann. I'm glad you let me know that. You didn't share that with me, Jim.
I didn't
I'm
know.
excited
I
about that. No, I think that's exciting. And here's something even better. Here's something even better, Ann. When that occurred in 2016, I'll never forget Uncle Trini saying, honey, he says, you going to be there? I said, absolutely. I wouldn't miss it. Now, of course, at that time, I got so sick. I had the flu, and I could not make it, unfortunately. But how did I ever know? There comes Ann Anello, and years down the road, here you are in Jim's life. Now, talk about the circle of life and how life is and how we meet one another. I find that amazing, and it's God's work in every which way. Isn't it great? I mean, I thought about that, and I get the chills when I think about it because, you know, I would have met you then. and who knows, but it wasn't meant to be until, anyway, I can go on and on. You know how I rattle. But Oralee, I think what Jim was saying is, when did you meet Trini and how did you meet him? Mr. Lopez himself.
I lived in Palm Springs. I'm a widow, and I lived on the second green of a golf course. And it was only separated by a low bush, or, well, maybe midway, little bushes from the second green. And I was out in front of my house planting a bush or a tree or something. I don't remember, but I was out there planting. And all at once a ball landed right there, right by me. And so, I thought, oh, somebody really screwed up and hit the ball over here. And pretty soon, here this man came up behind me. He said, oh,
how dare you hit me with that
did
ball?
I hit you? And I said, no, I'm fine. People do this every once in a while. He said, well, and so I turned around and he said, I'm Trini Lopez. And I said, well, nice to meet you. I'm Oralee Walker. And he said, well, good. He said, are you sure you are all right? And I said, I'm positive. I'm fine. And he said, thank you. And he went back and got in the golf cart and away they went. That night, the man he was playing with called me and he said, Trini would like to call you and get to know you better. Can I give him your number? And I said, of course. So we gave him his number, and Trini called me, and he said, I'd like to get together to know you better, but I leave tomorrow for Dallas. I go home every year at Christmas, but I'll call you in about 14 days. Is that okay? And I said, sure. Not thinking I'd ever hear from him. But about 14 days later, he called and asked me to a barbecue at that place, and the rest is history.
My goodness. Beautiful. It's, I feel that that's like a predestined to me.
Yes. And I feel so fortunate that I have been able to keep in touch with Oralee. It's a pleasure, and it's been wonderful to keep the memories alive, because losing him has been awful, as it is with any loved one. But
it's been very difficult.
Yes.
Half your life is gone,
Yeah. He no doubt. Yeah, he made a difference.
Did he pass?
Pardon? I live in
We Texas. Asked what year did he pass? Was
2020? It's 2020. Already 4 years. I was telling Oralee, it's hard to believe it's been 4 years already. 2020. Can you believe that? My gosh. Goodness. Yeah, and he was born May the 15th, a true Taurus in every sense of the word.
Oh, Taurus.
Yeah, May the 15th. And unfortunately, we lost him.
And he loved
his memory. His spirit lives on, because he contributed so much in so many ways. I mean, he broke international barriers and
absolutely
race barriers.
Really on stage, but in the movies. In German. He recorded in German.
My goodness.
Album in German.
Wow.
He had an ear to pick up languages.
Yeah, he did. Very, very did. And he was I'll tell you, as wonderful as he was very serious too. Remember Oralee? He took things very seriously. He'd say, oh, no, Deborah, that's not true. I say, excuse me. All right. I mean, he was down to earth, and just what you saw is what you got with him. He was not in any way whatsoever. In fact, he was very, very horrified when they wanted him a long time ago to change his name from Lopez to something else. And he said, no, I'm so sorry. I am very proud of my heritage. And hey, listen, rightfully so. And good for him is right. He stood his ground, and he was Trinidad Lopez, which is Trini. So he took a stand, and I really admired that with him. I said, I'm so happy. It brought tears to my eyes. I said, you should, rightfully so.
Oralee, do you have a favorite song? Do you have a favorite song of Trini's? Oralee?
Trini? Oh, Oralee. I know. Funny thing. We went to a bar one time. It was a nightclub, and we were sitting at the piano bar, and the pianist knew, of course, Trini, and Trini introduced me as Oralee, and all at once he started playing Oralee, and then went into La Bamba.
Did you love it?
When he received the Connie Francis Lifetime Award and the Entertainer of the Year Award, I should have had the photo geared up. We had a finale for him, and the finale consisted of Tony LaBianco was on, Lainey Kazan was on the show, I was on the show, my friend Judy Scott was a great singer in the show. and we closed the show with "Bada bada bada bum bum." Bada 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 bum bum. Oh, it was beautiful, and he just was such
I love it.
As a matter of fact, I how should I say that? I took the song "Something" that was written by George Harrison, and I rewrote the lyric so it fit him. Do you want to hear a little bit of it?
Sing a couple of lines.
Okay,
Ann.
let's see.
Yes.
Okay. Something in a sound that says that's the voice of Trini Lopez.
Oh, I love it.
In a style that moves me. One of a kind is he, gifted as one can be. Da 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 da. Something in his Latin style.
I love it. I love it.
And it went
I
on and on and on.
Man, that was fabulous. I love it.
Here's
It was a whole
Here's
song.
a photo of Ann and Trini.
Let's see.
Can you
I
see
love
there?
it. I could see, Oralee, you could see. Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Yes.
And
yes.
so, and it went on and on. So after I sang it, Trini said, "Oh my God, nobody's ever written lyrics about me." And then I found that he wrote
Yeah.
as well. He told me so. We started to talk as songwriters, and we just hit it off. I just thought he was so kind and loving and sweet, and so because he sang that day.
Mhm.
He sang.
He made
played the-
everyone feel comfortable.
Yes, that's correct. He made everyone feel that. That's a gift.
Mhm.
That's a gift.
Yes.
And,
Mhm.
I mean, I wrote this for him, but he was a gift to me that day, in appreciation and love and kindness. Because when you're singing for a legend, and he
Mhm.
is still a legend,
Mhm.
you know, you're always like a little bit unease if you're writing about them. You never know what. You never know if you're going too far or too limited. And yeah, but he was just so appreciative. He made me feel so good. And I mean, and I was singing right there. He went into the audience when I sang that song. He was in the audience till we called him up because all the entertainers went on, and then of course he went on last, and then there was the finale of La Bamba. It was
I love
wonderful.
it.
The Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in South Florida.
Yeah. One of my favorite places. Greg and I adore going there. It's been a while since we've been there, but what a fun place. In fact, we've been talking about trying to get back down there. And now without COVID, they have lots of wonderful entertainment. And again, it breaks my heart that I wasn't able to be there in 2016. But at least now I know you, Ann. And now
I've been dying to meet you, by the way.
I know. We will. I mean,
we're on our way to Halifax, Canada right now.
I don't know why I thought Jim. He said he was going down. By the way, happy birthday, belated birthday!
Thank you, thank you so much. We've been celebrating. Well, actually, this was a celebration of Jim's birthday. I gave him this cruises for his birthday.
Jim's
Nice.
And it just so happened the way it was booked, it was my birthday too.
Well, that was perfect. That worked out great.
Everything.
Yes, both birthday celebrations.
That worked out great. And what better way to celebrate? Cruising together.
Yes.
That's Robinson, right? Baby,
One party.
Cruise.
One dinner.
What did you say, Oralee? I didn't hear that.
One dinner party for your birthdays.
Yes, yes. We got two for the price of one.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's been a great.
How's the weather? Nice.
Oh,
the weather's
been
nice.
amazing.
60 degrees today, so it's a nice.
Oh, I
change.
love it. Send it here. Send it here.
7 today.
It's too
Yeah,
hot.
it was very nice when we got on. We got on in New York City.
Where are you living, Oralee?
It's a small town called Kerrville, but it's 5 hours south of Dallas and an hour north of San Antonio,
Oh
Wow.
my!
right in the middle of Texas.
You know what I was thinking? How wonderful this is, this whole exchange that people can see each
How
other. I
long
know this is,
I'm
what
sorry.
is this called? Zoom?
What's she
StreamYard.
asked?
StreamYard.
It's like a Zoom, same thing.
Together in this way. I mean, at least as horrible as the pandemic was, this was one great thing that came out of it.
That came out. You're absolutely right, and that's true.
Wherever
Thank
I
God.
say, wherever there's yin, there's yang, you know.
Yeah, that's
This
true.
is we can all meet in this way.
Oralee and I were laughing earlier because I was trying to get her on, and we had a little bit of technical difficulty, but I knew that we'd get through
A
it.
lot
And
of technical difficulties.
I said, Oralee, I
had
said,
a
hang
lot
in
of
there. I
problems
said,
with
we'll do
Sarah.
it. Don't worry. She's like, Deb, okay. So we did it. But as much as we want to complain, what Ann just said makes a lot of sense. All the technology, we have no choice but to go with the flow because guess what? What happens today is obsolete tomorrow. So let's get ready for more technology. It's good to have. It's really
We
good.
want to sit there, and if you don't have a little
You
basic,
mentioned Connie Francis.
more than basic, you can't even get around here.
That's right.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
You
Go
mentioned
ahead,
Connie
Oralee.
was there.
Yes.
That she was the
Oh, Connie was there, yes.
He was ill.
In fact, they're very good friends, Connie and
She's
Trini.
speaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
They used to date. And
They dated? Oh,
I got a
Yeah.
memoir of a date.
okay.
How
And,
nice. Yes, how nice. Well, Connie was there because it was the Connie Francis Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's
I
another
think-
wonderful legend.
You know, I went with him to, I can't tell you how many in that 25 years of Lifetime Achievement Awards and Outstanding Citizens Awards and you name it. And he was always very, very grateful. And he was a very humble man. And to be honored with these, he said his singing ability was a God given talent. It was
Yes.
nothing of him, it was a God given talent. And therefore, he was humbled when people expressed their thank you for his ability.
That's a beautiful
And
way
he
to
had
appreciate.
Had these honors sitting, I mean, he displayed them all.
Yeah.
He was proud of them.
You
Well,
know,
it is. I think it is a God-given gift.
Mhm.
That
is.
kind of a gift. It is. You can develop it and get better, but you have to have it in your soul.
It
has
comes
to be
running
emanating.
through. You're right, Ann. That was right.
Deborah,
Spot on.
you have it.
Yes.
Deborah, you have it. I hear
I love
you.
Charisma that he
Well,
could
I
stand
love
up
listening to
or go
you.
into a room. and knew he was there.
You know, it's funny. I'll sing, and my husband's so used to it. I'm like, can you sing with me? He's like, yeah, right. But that's okay. I still sing.
You have a gift. I hear you singing on the show, even when you're doing something funny. You hear it in your voice. You have a gift. There's no
I love
question about it.
Well, you know, Ann and Oralee, we all, Jim, we can all, and music is what makes the world go around. And I'll tell you what, that is my go-to place when things are good, when things are bad, when things are sad. I mean, I thank God for that wheel of music because I just turn directly to it. And that's how I get through life in general. I mean, that's honestly speaking how I feel about music. And it just tells a story. And it doesn't matter what genre, it doesn't matter who, what. Music is your soul. So you said it's spot on, Ann. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, well,
When
I feel
I'm
it too.
down, I can't listen to people talking. I listen to music.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it tells more of the story than I don't know about the rap, but I'll shut up about that.
That's not my cup of tea.
Oh boy. But there's so much about it. You know, Trini too, Oralee, and like Ann was saying to his movies, you know, he was The Dirty Dozen was a really, really big hit for him. And I know that he was nervous about making that. I'll never forget he said that. But you know, any show he was on, any movie, whether it was Marriage on the Rocks, remember that? That was with Frank Sinatra, I think Dean Martin, 1965. Then there was Antonio that he played in as well, one of his movies,
Here
right?
we are. We're back. We're back.
No technical difficulty there.
Oh, okay, I was wondering. Here I'm yakking away. No one's moving.
Yes,
Can you see us
okay.
now?
Cruise ship. Must be
Oh,
there.
there you go. It's rocking back and forth.
There we come.
I just wanted to say this. So you said when we were left off about, you said the music fills your heart.
You know, I can hardly hear you. Speak up,
Can
please.
you hear me now if I'm louder?
Yes,
Is that better?
much better.
You were saying, Deborah, that music fills your heart.
Yes.
I am a member of the Songwriters Hall of Fame, and I went to an event, and the president at that time was Bobby Weinstein, who wrote all the hits for Little Anthony and the Imperials. He made a speech at the end of the speech. I'll never forget it. He said, "We have to really revere music." And why is that so? It's so because it fills the air with lyric. It put lyrics into your brain and music in your soul. And I don't even think we realize it. People don't even realize it, but it just fills your head with beautiful sounds and peacefulness.
It does. It's so
the
true.
lyrics.
Yes.
A songwriter has to be very careful because they're really infiltrating people's minds with words. Words are very powerful. So I could never reiterate his
I told him
speech.
I didn't know how he lived that life because there was so, as you say, so much going on there. Some of it good, some of it bad. I don't know how he, what's the word? Steered through the waters out there, but he did.
It's not an easy business.
No.
No.
I'll tell you. I remember.
And anybody that thinks all you have to do is just go there and jump up on the stage,
good.
they don't know what they're talking about. There's a lot more to it. Trini had a fantastic memory. Once he saw you, he wouldn't forget. He may forget your name, but he wouldn't forget your face.
That's so true.
All of his songs that he sang were from memory.
Really?
He did music. Everything was from memory. The music, the singing, everything. He had a fantastic memory.
He did.
That's
he was
wonderful.
very consistent. Yeah, very consistent. And he was straightforward. And I'll tell you what, he had little patience for drama or anything unexpected, that I can say. But he did it with such class and such finesse, even through it all. So
Yes.
But even through it all, I always felt, and you know much more about him than I do. I know, but as a fellow artist, I felt he was a free spirit.
Yes.
He was what?
A free spirit. A free spirit.
Yes and no.
Okay.
He was a free spirit in that he loved everybody. He didn't categorize anyone, race, creed, color, didn't make any difference. People were people, and he accepted them that way. And he was, I always told him, very naive because he assumed everyone was good until they proved they weren't.
Right. He always looked at the good first. Right.
They were good
Right.
until they weren't.
Right.
And he, to me, would ask innocent questions that he just would ask, and people would answer him because he asked.
Right.
And he'd like a little kid would ask, he was always wanting to learn, always wanting to know more. What did this and how did that work? And I think that's how he got through Hollywood was, he respected all of them, the big and the little. And, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, he said. But the bigger they are, the nicer they are, too. Yeah. He found.
Jim has a lot of traits of Trini Lopez. Everything you're describing. Jim always sees the good first in people.
Yeah, he does.
He sees the good.
Maybe that's a Taurus point.
Yes. And being I was born in Brooklyn, I always go, wait a minute.
Hey, New York girlfriend.
What did you say, Deb?
New York girlfriend, I gotcha.
Yes, New York girl.
Well,
I'm spreading the news. I'm leaving today.
Right.
It's been many of years, Anne, since I visited New York, but I got exactly.
Oh, you have to come and visit.
I know, and I that's another thing. Time doesn't stop, though; it just keeps going and going. But I have to stop. That I've got to make time, and that's another conversation at the time for sure.
Right.
But
right.
yeah,
Oralee, did you travel with Trini?
Oh yes, everywhere he went.
Even Europe, or around the world?
Mm-hmm. Went to 9 different countries.
Wow.
Yes. Went to
That's
a lot
so
of black tie affairs, cocktail
And
parties.
how long were we're coming in a little delayed. How long were you with them all together?
25 years.
25 years.
25. I think she said that earlier. Yeah, 25 years. My goodness.
And when it was 25th year, we went out to eat, and he told everybody, we've been together 25 years.
He depended on you, Oralee, big time. And he always, every conversation would be just before I'd hang up with Trini, he would say, honey, he goes, if you can't contact me, you know to contact Oralee. She'll take care of you. I mean, he always said that, and God bless him. I just, and it's true. If I wanted a CD, I'd say, Oralee, no problem. It was in the mail. So it was nice.
Deb, what were your first memories of Trini?
Well, Trini used to come, as a young girl, Jim. I remember that's all we heard in the house growing up was La Bamba, Lemon Tree, and If I Had a Hammer. And that's where I got the I love that. So, in fact, I would say that to Trini. I'd say, hi, you know who it is? He'd say, all right. But yeah, my memories are just my father. In fact, my father and Trini were known as the Tony twins in Dallas, Texas, before Trini became really famous. And they were together. They were gigging together for a long time. And then, of course, my father went his way, Trini went his way. But my fondest memories of watching him and being behind the stage, being behind the curtain, waiting. I was a young girl. There was one particular memory I had on a chiffon dress, and it had yellow flowers like daisies. And I remember my mother she loved to fix my hair. I mean, she was like just into, the ribbons, what have you. And I remember feeling so pretty because my mother made me special. Now, okay, wear your hair like this. And I'll never forget Trini's words. He says, oh, don't you look beautiful? You look like my little Daisy. And sure enough, Daisy's all over me. So that will always stay in my mind, and he picked me up and he gave me a hug and a kiss. And, it's just always been Uncle Trini, no matter if we were able to see each other, but we were able to make up for talking on the phone. But that would be my fondest memory, if any memory, Jim, of him seeing me in those daisies. And I felt very pretty, little young girls as we feel with our hair done. And it was a big deal. I was seeing my Uncle Trini, and I was behind stage, and I had daisies in my hair and on my dress.
So
beautiful memories.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Yeah. And there's so many more, but I mean, I can ramble on.
Oralee wanted to say something. What did you want to say, Oralee?
I was just going to say, what I remember about Trini was his kindness, his concern for me and for everyone, his love of life. He loved life. But about 2 months before he passed, he told me, he said, honey, I'm ready to go. And I said, you
Really?
are? And he said, yeah. And in the book, he said, I've done everything. I've been to the top of the mountain. I have done everything.
I have the chills when you say that. Those memories will stay in your heart forever. And Deb, you too. Those memories,
he was
the day
he
dress
so kind.
and all of that. Those are memories that you take into the next lifetime with you.
I told Deborah
amazing.
earlier, he was a gentleman.
Yes.
When
That's
Alexa left the table, he stood up. When she came back, he stood up. He was a gentleman, a true gentleman.
A gentle gentleman. It was a beautiful way of phrasing that. Beautiful.
He had opened the door when we go to a restaurant. One time I rushed up and opened the door. He said, how am I going to be a gentleman if you rush up there? He opened the door. So I always did. Was not afraid to express his opinion. And always it was so nice. It never, in the 25 years, I never heard him say something bad about anyone. I never heard him swear. I never heard him gossip. He did not gossip. And he knew a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. He would say, Oralee, he would always say, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice.
That's yes.
Oh, that's a beautiful saying.
That was a big thing with him. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. It was.
And
I felt that way when I felt that way when I met him. He was
Yeah.
so
You feel comfortable with it.
I mean, if you see that picture, but then the finale, we should show them the finale picture with everybody on stage.
Love to see that.
Yeah, this finale picture. I'm right next to him. The way he's holding and taking care of me, I just felt so.
It's not coming out.
It's not. Oh, there
Aw.
it is.
Well, I could see it a little. Let's see. Not
just-
so much.
Amy should have her name there too.
Oh, that's okay. We're sharing the computer.
I can't get it. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is. We could see a little bit, Oralee. Can you
It
see?
is.
Oh, that's beautiful. From what I could see, it's lovely. Oh, let's see. Can you hold it still for? There you go.
Yeah.
Hold it still. Oh, I see.
There it
That's
is.
beautiful. You know why? Because of the background, but I could certainly see it.
Yeah. The background's distorting it.
Yeah.
You know, when his house burned, all those clothes in
Sorry.
the house burned up.
Yeah.
When was
It's a
that?
terrible fire. Terrible fire.
About 7 years before he passed.
Yeah.
Oh.
My daughter came in that morning, so I was home and I picked her up at the airport. I brought her home and my phone rang. It was Trini early in the morning. It was like 8 o'clock for him. That was early. And I told my daughter, I said, wonder what this is. He's not up this early. So I said, hello. And he said, honey, my house is on fire. My house is on fire.
Oh my
And I
God.
said,
Wow.
what? The plug in for the television was at the foot of his bed. And the plug was in the closet where all of his clothes were. It caught fire.
Wow.
And he was in bed and he heard some popping and cracking and he opened his eyes and he
Thank
saw
God.
smoke coming out of the closet.
He was
So
so
he,
lucky.
No.
he looked in the closet and there was fire, a little fire. So he went toward the bathroom to get a glass to throw water on it, which was the worst thing you could have done. But you know, what's the first instinct?
He panicked.
Right.
Of course.
There was
He
no glass.
panicked.
So he when he came out, there were the flames were shooting. So he thought,
Oh,
Mm.
he grabbed his phone and went out the door, and that's where he called me from outside. And
Yeah.
he called 911. Before he called 911, the neighbors called 911 because they could see his phone. And he's
My
standing out there in his pajamas, and the neighbor next door was a first responder, and he got this ding, 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 you know, and then gave the address, and he said, that's my neighbor. So he came out, and Trini didn't have any shoes on, so he went in and got him some house slippers. And he had Trini, it totaled the inside of his bedroom. His clothes, he had over 100 pairs of shoes, and they all, he got about 10 pairs back.
Wow.
Maybe.
I remember. Oh,
I mean, tuxedos, suits,
oh, kind of
shirts, everything. The furniture, I've got a picture on the book where the ceiling fell down onto the bed. It's in
Oh, and so it was a
Look,
really bad
was-
one.
and he was never the same after.
by
Because
the grace of God, he was.
he
Yeah.
had so many mementos gone.
Thank God he was awake and he got out of there. Yes.
That's right.
He
Amen. to
heard he slept with one eye open, and when he heard the cracking, the fire, he said,
God.
and Herman told
My
him,
goodness.
most
funny.
people did not get out of a fire like that because they usually slept through it. And
Right.
the fire said, do not use those plastic things where you know, what do you call them? Where
Oh, you're talking about the ones that you put in the wall, the plastic, the
Yeah.
protectors.
the things you put extra plugs in.
Yeah. The extra
Oh, the
outlet.
surge,
Plastic.
the chargers,
But
the
it's
surge
hard to
chargers.
find anything that's not plastic, but
Right.
that's what the fireman said, because it caught
Oh
on fire.
my goodness.
And it was
Interesting.
devastating. I mean, I couldn't see as far as my hand in front of me. It was so much smoke in the house for days.
Yeah.
He
That's
had
hard.
Well, the positive is that he was still alive after that. Thank God. You can
That's
always replace. I mean, as hard as that is to replace, especially a performer, an entertainer who has clothes specially made for them, and I'm sure his tuxedos were gorgeous. It's so hard to replace those things.
oh,
But
yeah.
thank God it wasn't him, and because you can't replace Trini Lopez.
That's
Yes.
right.
That was
he
yeah.
he made it out alive, but he lost a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
lot.
of course.
Mentally and physically.
Yes.
And he really was never the same.
Yeah.
He was still happy and good, but there was that
It
little
leaves
bit.
an impression. Yeah,
It leaves an impression for sure.
Absolutely.
You know, you can imagine if your bedroom, especially because, you know, when he was little, when he was young, the family to him was very, very important, next to God. But the family lived. There were 5 children. Well, it started with 4 children,
Mhm.
and the 5th one was born after. But the 4 children and his mom and dad lived in 2 rooms.
Really? Wow.
And the children slept on blankets in the living room. They ate in the living room.
Mhm.
They read in the living room. They talked in the living room, and they
Wow.
slept in the living room. So therefore, Trini was used to doing things in one room, and for Trini
Right.
it was the bedroom. He watched television there. He ate there. He did everything there. You know, we talked. We did business there. I used my little recorder there so he could tell me things he wanted me to do. But that was because of his life. You know,
Upbringing.
yes.
What town did he live in as a child?
Dallas.
Dallas.
Where? In Coachella?
Dallas?
He lived in Dallas. I've got the address in the book. I can't remember, but he lived in the Mexican and Latino section. A rough section, very rough section. And
You know, I was thinking that's why he might have been so appreciative, because he came
Oh,
from such
yes.
humble beginnings.
Yes.
Right.
People that come from humble
he
beginnings
lived
and have to
like
fight.
in the grapes of wrath.
Oh,
And he went across country and picked tomatoes from daylight to dark
really?
when he was a little kid. And they did that for about 4 years. And he always,
Yeah.
until he went to California when he was 21,
Yeah.
gave his mother every dime he made.
Remember,
God
he
bless
was on the street corner playing with his friends. I think he got a few dollars for just to help his family, to support his family. As
He
he
did every.
at the age of 12, his
Beautiful.
father taught him how to play guitar.
How did he start in show business? What was his motivation?
His father.
His father.
Yeah, his father.
His father
His
is the one. His father gave him a spanking for running around with a gang.
Yeah,
Gave
running
him a
around what?
control back
with the gang.
guitar. And
Bad influence.
because his father played the guitar, and his father was
Oh.
a musician in Mexico and
Oh,
used to
see.
perform for fiestas and things. And so he taught Trini a few songs, La Bamba being one of them. And this was years before it was recorded here. And Trini said, again, this is in the book. Trini, his dad told him, I can show you, no, how was it? I can show you how to sing, but only God and your heart
Mm-hmm.
give you the soul to sing. And
Wow.
so
That's
his
beautiful.
dad was really, when he would go home at Christmas, which he did every year, all of his career, he did not take gigs on Christmas because that was his family time. He said that's what kept him grounded, was his family.
Right.
And he had parties, different, might be Mexican today, Japanese next year, some other country the next year. And, you know, his family was first, and mother was very important, but father is the one that pushed him,
Very strict. Very strict.
encouraged him. And when he went home for Christmas, he told me he and his dad would sit at night, late at night, and talking about everything. And he'd tell his dad, and his dad would give him advice, and it, you know, so he, you know, they really had a good understanding of each other. He and his
That's
dad.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
I can't wait to read the memoir, Oralee.
That's
When
why
will it be?
Interesting.
When
That's
will
why
it be published?
my daughter lives here, so I like California, but my daughter's here.
Or Oralee, when will the memoir be published? When the memoir?
When will the memoir be published?
Oh, well, the publishers have it now, and I got an email yesterday that said it's in our hands, and our marketers are marketing it internationally. Because I told him, don't forget, he was very popular in Europe, South America, Israel, Australia, you name it. And so they wrote that we're marketing internationally. So I don't know exactly when it'll be out, but I'll let Debbie know, Deborah.
What is the title of it, Oralee? What is the title and the publisher of it? So, the title.
How did I get here?
How did I get here? Oh, what a wonderful
Yes,
title. And the publisher.
How did I get here?
And I know it, but
by the grace of God is how I got here.
By the grace of God. Oh my goodness. Jim's mother always used to
I
say
had
that.
it by the grace of God. And all the publishers said, you can't say that. Nobody
You know, and that's disturbing to me. And I have to say this because I'm sorry.
And he said, leave it there.
No, he was very religious, Trini, very religious.
It's in the book, but on the cover, I took it off.
I know, but that's a shame because he was religious. Why take that away from him?
Yeah.
You know, that's all I have to say about that. But anyway.
So what is the title now without the grace of God?
How did I get here?
How did I get here?
By the grace of God. How did I get here? But they made the name. She had to do what she had to do to take it off. Unfortunately,
if I wanted to get it published, I had to take by the grace of God off.
Yeah.
And who was the publisher?
Okay, I'm going to tell you here in a minute. But
it'll probably be available on Amazon and some other sources.
Yes.
I just found out about it through Oralee yesterday, so we've just been discussing it.
That's okay. You can't find it.
I've got it here. If I can just find the name, I'm reading all these texts here. It's WP Lighthouse.
WP Lighthouse. I've heard of them. WP Lighthouse. That's good. Lighthouse. Great. Well, I wish you the best of luck with it. The best of luck, both of you.
He was something that, you know.
Are you okay, Oralee?
In California, those kids working out in the fields could use it as a example of what you can do.
Right.
My niece goes to school in Tennessee, and in the elementary school, they were writing about different people, and the teacher brought up Trini Lopez as a good example of what to become. And she said, my aunt knows him. But, you know, kids are like that. But so he was known internationally. And, you know, when you talk to him, as you know, both of know, you felt like he was an old friend. You had known him for years, just guy next door. You'd never know how famous he was. We'd walk down the street in Paris, in Tokyo. No, we didn't go to the Philippines. You name a town, and people would come toward me, and they would come. We'd walk, you know, and they, is that him? Is that him? And I said,
you know, at the age of 15,
and I said yes, because he would take a picture with anyone, and he'd go, honey, get up here, and I said, they don't want a picture of me. So I said, give me the camera. And I took a picture of all of them. You know, he said I was the camera queen because I took more pictures than anybody.
You set him straight, Oralee.
Like you. They want to see you. Jim's right.
You know,
they want to see you.
He loved he loved your laughter. He loved your concern. He loved everything about you. I know that. And he was saying at the age of 15, he and his friends, which of course his dad was very strict, and he was pretty strict. He got him off the streets because, you know, if he hadn't, then maybe it would have been a different way. But he formed a group by the name of Big Beats, Get a load of that. Big beats.
Beats.
Big beats. Okay, at the age of 15. And then Buddy Holly, his publishing company, discovered him, and that's how they recorded an album. Would you believe it?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
produced
okay.
the Big Beats were, they were with Columbia Records. So that's interesting also. And his father knew he was going places. He knew. And it was up to Trini to be positive, and he took the right direction. So he went from Trini, my name is Lopez, to Mr. Lopez to La Bamba. Oh my gosh. So many.
It's wonderful.
You know,
what
that's the part of La Bamba. The part of La Bamba that he had a particular riff in it, and he patented La Bamba with that riff. Now La Bamba's played a lot of times, but if that riff is used, it's his.
Oh.
You know what I'd like to send Jim and Ann? I'll have a copy made for the two of you. Trini's newest CDs, going back, what was it? I think 2014, I believe, was when Trini came out. Let me see. Let me think. It was 2014, or somewhere around that time, where he came out. Let's Dance is the name of the CD. Wonderful music. So I'd like to make you guys a copy. I think Ann, you would appreciate it. Jim, you'd appreciate it.
I would.
Nothing like the La Bamba, and If I Had a Hammer or Lemon Tree. It's just Trini being Trini, and you really simply want to just get up and dance to every one of the songs. And some of it's so romantic, it's like, wow. You know, it's really nice. There I go with the I.
Himself, you know, he got into it on that album.
Yes, he and his brother Jesse at the time had helped him with that. Remember?
Jesse was fantastic.
Jesse, oh man, what a time!
Player. He could also play the harmonica.
Yeah,
I think when you talked about his humble beginnings, I think that came out in his performance. Like he always honored his past, his bringing up how he was brought up, his
nice.
Yes. You know, people feel that when you're on stage. They get that when you're a great entertainer. There's something, you can't put your finger on it really, but there's some kind of magic that comes out on a stage when you bring your humble beginnings, and people relate to that. And that's one of the great gifts that he has.
And you know, you either have it or you don't.
That's right.
That's it. You either had it or you don't. I like that. That is so true.
He had it.
Yes, that's God-given. That's really God-given.
That's what he said. It was God-given. He didn't do anything. But
that's right.
He had a fantastic voice. He had a beautiful voice. And some of the songs he sang in Spanish, you would think you were at the opera.
Yeah.
Some of them were just beautiful.
I always feel entertainers have more than what is shown to them. There's always, you know, but I do remember one scene in that movie. What was it? This Magnificent Seven, I think it was.
The Dirty Dozen?
Dirty Dozen. Where he's climbing up a pole or a tree.
Yeah.
And it falls. That was an incredible scene. If I believe that
was scary because there was nothing to catch him.
My gosh.
There was nothing on the bottom.
It was a parachute jump, is what that was. It was a parachute jump.
I'm talking about when he was climbing. It was
1967, and 1967. The movie was made. The Dirty Dozen.
He told him to get up.
He made the.
He was with a bunch of convicts.
He didn't fall. He said
no.
Fell.
No.
Nope.
So if he fell, there was nothing.
If he fell, he'd have broke his neck.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to fall.
That doesn't happen today.
Yeah. He was known as Pedro Jimenez, something like that. And he was portraying the character who performs a parachute jump, and he was going to basically fall off or something like that. I guess that was the beginning of the story. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it, but what a movie. If you like the war movie, it's really,
Kelly Savalas, I believe, was in that.
God. I love him too. Yes.
Sally.
It was directed by Robert Aldrich, the movie. So it was very good. Oh. It's really, it was a very good movie.
It's still played today.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Every chance it's on Netflix and all the digital platforms.
Yeah.
We're so happy you joined us today, Oralee. We're so happy you joined us today.
I'm glad to be here. I'm always
Oralee,
happy.
you're so special. You really are special. You really are, Oralee. And I can't thank you enough. Jim can't thank you. And it's a pleasure to have you on the show. I'm so thrilled.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
When I
My
see
but her
you,
name was
And
too.
to
I
be
have
on
to
this
give you a big hug. I have to give you a big
Yeah.
hug, Ann. You know, I do. I love you, Ann, because anyone who loves my Jim, I love even more.
Well,
He's
he's very special.
He's
I'm
very
blessed.
special. And you're special in his eyes. You kidding?
Oh, that's very sweet.
And you're very. I feel like I've known you, and I feel that way with certain people in my life that I meet, and they're very spiritual, and you are. So that's God's timing.
I was just going to say it's the spiritual connection. You can feel it, even if you're not.
Oh,
you just
absolutely.
feel it.
And
It's
you can
something
feel it with just every being in you. Absolutely. And if you have it, like Oralee said, you either have it or you don't.
Thank you.
And that goes without saying with people that
Thank
you meet in life, you know, it's just there and you know it, you have that gut instinct. So I thank God for the relationships that, you know, are there. So it's just been wonderful.
What a difference a day makes.
It most certainly does. Now, Oralee, I kind of told you how we end the show. What a difference a day makes. Would you like to sing along with us? Oralee, you could do it. Sing it for Trini. Oralee, you
I
can
don't
hear
know.
me? Can you
We're
hear
going to
me?
sing.
She
Oralee?
doesn't hear.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to end the show. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. What a difference
What a
a day
difference
A day makes 24 little hours.
makes. Brought the sun and the flowers where there used to be rain. There's that tambourine. What a difference a day
Difference a
makes.
day makes.
And
And
the
the
difference
difference
is
is you. And you.
and
You,
you.
and you, and
you,
you, and you, and you, and
you,
you.
And you know what? It does make a big difference in our lives. So, you know, we'd like to end the show always by saying never, ever forget to keep your horizons
Keep your
bright.
horizons bright.
And in memory of Trini Lopez, I mean, he's meant the world to us. And Trini, God bless your soul. I know he's with us during this broadcast. I could feel him. And he's probably laughing, saying, how come you didn't sing my La Bamba? That's
La Bamba.
Anne's going to sing it for you.
Go, Ann.
Gotta give it a little shake too. Woo! Good, Oralee.
We're going to shake, rattle, and roll. We're going to shake, rattle,
I
and
do
roll.
want to do one little commercial. I'm very proud that I'm going to be appearing at Lincoln Center on
Oh,
October
when?
2nd. Yes, Lincoln
October
Center.
22nd, that's my husband's birthday.
Really?
It's a great day.
It's a tribute to
Greg's
Charles
birthday.
Strauss, a tribute to Charles Strauss, the composer of Annie, Applause,
Oh,
Golden
how
Boy,
nice.
who I worked with for many years. But that's all I want to say. So,
Oh,
shows
how nice. Thank you, Anna, for sharing that. That's wonderful.
course. Of course.
So now, how long you two on your cruise for? When do you get back?
Saturday.
We're
Okay.
having a wonderful time.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
Halifax, Canada.
No, we started
York.
in New York and Newport, Rhode Island, Boston, Mass. Yesterday we were in
Bahaba,
Maine. And we're at sea right now, and tomorrow we'll be in Halifax, Canada.
Nice. Well, just enjoy your time together. Enjoy.
We always
This
do.
Every minute.
Thank our viewers for joining us today.
Yes.
we love you
Thank
all. Oralee,
So great to
Thank you.
speak to you, Deborah.
Thank
I've
you,
enjoyed the
Oralee.
show so very, very much. And thank
Thank
you,
you.
Oralee. What a pleasure
Thank
to meet
you.
you. And all
You
your
are very
experience.
lovely.
Trini.
Too.
Thank you, Oralee.
And you're lovely.
love you, Oralee. Love you,
Kisses.
Jen. Love you, Ann.
Love
Bye,
you.
everybody. Kisses.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
As Trini would
Kisses.
say, muchos besos. Mwah.
Muchos besos. Muchos besos.
Muchos
Bésame
besos.
mucho.
Bésame mucho.
Mucho.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
And they're gone.
Keeps a look at what's coming up tonight on San Antonio's own Ken's 5. Before heading on the door, plan your day with Paul in an accurate up-to-the-minute forecast weekly mornings from 4:30 to 7 on Ken's 5.
On the move in New York right before his arrest. Inside the federal indictment, music calls it sickening sexual acts and violence against women. The trove of shocking evidence with agents seized here inside his mansion.
And who was by his side inside court in Manhattan? The defense take everything that they own.
The monsters of Beverly Hills.
Eric and I killed our parents together. So that makes us very close.
The new series about Lyle and Eric Menendez and the infamous murders of their wealthy parents. And the billionaire who arrived to be in the house. and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which codes distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. Thousands of items used in those freak offs were seized in those military-style coast-to-coast raids. In good cause, the billionaire hip-hop mogul everything. He faces life in prison, and prosecutors are asking for him to forfeit any property or assets used is in theaters tomorrow. From extra reporter to chopper pilot to book author. Lauren Sanchez is back in the house talking about her new passion project. Extra brought